What's up guys, welcome to the video, my 2022 Formula 1 season predictions. Okay guys, so I'm going to do it slightly differently this year. So instead of predicting where I think each driver is going to finish in the standings, I'm just going to do my main predictions and we'll go through them one at a time. So let's go with prediction number one. Okay, prediction number one is going to be for Constructor of the Year, and for me, I am most impressed with Ferrari. The moment they revealed their car and they had those undulating side pods, I thought that's either going to be a moment of brilliance or a moment of madness, and it appears that it works. You know, whether they're the fastest or not is yet to be seen. We don't know that from pre-season testing. What we do know is the car looks good and they got a lot of laps in, and I'm really impressed with the driver lineup. I think both Carlos Sainz and Leclerc seem to work well together and they'll push each other on, and I think that's going to spur them on to the Constructors' title this year. That team for me is Williams. I think they are going to probably finish at the foot of the table for the Constructors' title this year. The car didn't go too well throughout testing last season with George Russell at the helm. I think they were making Q3 on many occasions. They were pushing Q2 constantly. You know, they scored some points and they really seem to be going on an upward trajectory. Whereas I look at their car and I look at their lineup this year of Albon and Latifi, and for me, Latifi doesn't have it. He's a paid driver. I'm not convinced Williams have improved their car enough, and I'm not convinced they've improved their driver lineup at all. I think that they have weakened a lot, and that is why I think they're going to be my underachievers of the year, based on how they did last season and where they were going to where I think they'll be this season, when hopefully there's going to be a lot more teams in the mix. I don't think Williams are going to be one of those teams. For me, that's going to be Sebastian Vettel. I really am excited for him this year. I'm hoping the Aston Martin is going to perform well. They had a bit of a questionable car last season. Vettel only made Q3 7 times out of the 22 races. I don't think that's good enough. I think the car was better than that as well. I do think this season, getting a better car under him, I can just see him pushing on through. You know, he's been with the team for a year now, and I'm really hoping he can get some good results and we can see a bit more of the driver that we kind of remember from his Red Bull and Ferrari days. Vettel, I'm hoping to get through to Q3 a lot more consistently, scoring. I mean, he got in the top 10 quite a lot. He did well in the races, but he was sort of scratching around the bottom of the top 10. I'd like to see him pushing a lot more for those sort of higher up, top 5, top 3 places. And I think this season with the new regs, the new car, I really think he is the man to steer Aston Martin into the direction they want to do. So for me, I think Vettel is going to be the most improved driver based on the 2 seasons to this season. So. And I think it's going to be Schumacher. I think it's going to be really interesting this season with Kevin Magnussen as his teammate. He didn't really get tested last season with Mazepin, so having a seasoned vet, he knows the team in Magnussen. You know, he's familiar. I know they're new cars for everyone, but I think that's going to be a real good show for where Schumacher's level is. I do think I mean, it's a Hail Mary, but I do think the surprise of the season will be a Haas getting, if not on the podium, very close. I think maybe we'll say top 5. But if you told anyone last year that Haas would be looking at top 5, they would laugh in your face. So Schumacher top 5 for me. Okay, on to Drivers' Champion for the year. I've already said I think the Ferrari looks like a great package. Unfortunately, I can't back Mercedes. I want to back George Russell. I want to back Lewis Hamilton to go and avenge what happened last season. I just don't see it. I really don't. I think they will be challenging for race wins. I don't think they'll be there for the Constructors this year. So it comes down to the Ferrari boys. Carlos Sainz, in my opinion, is a more sensible driver, and I think over the course of a season, you saw it. I mean, Sainz finished ahead of Leclerc this season, and I think he knows when to push, when not to push. I think Leclerc's the better driver of him and Sainz. I just still think he's got that young erraticness to him. He's only got 2 race wins, which is insane. I feel like he has more than 2, but he only has the 2 race wins. I think he's going to get a lot more this year. I think they're going to be 1-2 this year, Ferrari. But for me, I think over the course of a year, I see Sainz getting it. I really do. I think I love his racecraft. I love what he did at McLaren. I think he had a brilliant drive last year for his first season at Ferrari. There was a lot of pressure on him at Ferrari last year, when Leclerc was clearly the golden boy of Ferrari. He is the future of Ferrari. I don't think Sainz has longevity at Ferrari. I think he's fighting for his contract this year as well. You know, he's into his final months of, final year of his contract. You're going to have Schumacher knocking, wanting a better drive. He's going to be wanting to get into Ferrari. You're going to have, like Callum coming and want to come up. And I just think Sainz has everything to lose this year, kind of. And I think he's just going to push on. He's going to do it. He's going to stamp his place on the team and get Ferrari that World Championship. So I think it's going to be a double World Championship for Ferrari this year. I've been really impressed with them. I could be all wrong. We could watch free practice next week and it be a shambles. And we'll soon find out. But anyway, they're my just base predictions for the year. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your predictions would be. We'll soon see. We've got Bahrain in a week. I couldn't be more excited for it. So that's it for the video, and I will see you next week.